let's move on in this interview at least. There's a widespread perception in the West that it's dangerous to criticize Saudi Arabia. In 2018, Saudi Arabia reacted quite harshly to a tweet by the Canadian Minister of Foreign Affairs. She was basically in this tweet expressing concern about some human rights activists who had been arrested, among these Samad Badawi, who's a very well-known peaceful activist, many people would say. Let's talk about the tweet. How can a few words cause such an anger in one country, your country?
It's not the tweets. It's this idea of we demand that Saudi Arabia. Nobody demands anything of Saudi Arabia. If we came out,
she asked you to release the prisoners, yes?
If we came out and said we demand that Denmark does 1, 2, 3, would you accept it? We said no. This is not acceptable behavior from a friendly government. We will not tolerate it.
But still, it's just words. It's a politician having an opinion on your country.
It doesn't.
What's the big deal?
It doesn't matter. It came from a foreign minister of a country with whom we have diplomatic relations, and this is unacceptable diplomatic behavior, and Saudi Arabia is not a banana republic. We do not take criticism like this lightly.
So sorry to interrupt you. If this happened today, you wouldn't change a thing?
We have to see what happens. I hope it doesn't happen.
No, I'm asking because you're begging for investments. You're inviting the whole world to come to your country to do business.
We're not begging.
No, sorry for that.
The world is knocking on our door. We're not begging for investments.
You're opening your country.
Correct.
To entrepreneurs, to Danish businesses, and so on. My question then is shutting up the price of doing business with you? Do one Danish company run the risk of being locked down in Saudi Arabia if one politician in Denmark speaks up?
We are saying that there's a way to have conversations. And we have conversations with our allies in the West all the time about all issues, including women's rights, including human rights. We are not shy about explaining what we're trying to do because we're trying to reform our country and move it forward.
But this Canadian minister thought she was having a conversation with you.
But allow me to finish my point. We do not accept dictates. We do not accept people telling us what to do. We're not a banana republic. If you want to pick up the phone and call me and say, I have a problem with this issue, that is totally acceptable. But to go public and say, we demand the release, who are you to demand? We are a sovereign country that has its own laws, and we're not saying to Canada, we demand that Canada give independence to Quebec. What would the Canadians say if we said this?
So now I understand what insulted you, but then again, your reaction, not only did you expel the Canadian ambassador to Saudi Arabia, you also froze in or put on hold the business activities of Canadian businesses. And then my question is, then again, one person spoke up and the whole country paid a price. What's the logic here?
It's not one person, it's the foreign minister who represents the country. If the foreign minister cannot represent the country, then they shouldn't be foreign minister.
So if you have freedom of speech in your country and you send a company to do business with Saudi Arabia, this company runs the risk of being punished for what the politicians say?
No, we made sure that we said to the Canadians, your information is wrong. We said to the Canadians, you need to retract what you did, and they didn't. And so here we are, and we will continue to remain like this until the situation gets